तो ये वाला पेपर हम करेंगे and 1 second. अच्छा अब स्टार्ट कर लेते फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन से ठीक है स्टार्टिंग विद द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन now this one a gas which combines with water to form acid rain कौन सी gas produce करती है out of all these gases
sulfur dioxide
ठीक है so that's sulfur dioxide है यहाँ पे हाँ ठीक है that's A option A two gases which exist as diatomic molecules तो वो तो सामने नजर आ रहा है which of these two gases exist as diatomic molecules
D and
C and D है ना
yes.
Carbon monoxide is diatomic, Cl2 is diatomic. Diatomic means that it's got two atoms. Damp litmus paper bleach कौन करता है? Which gas? Whose test is this? Bleaches damp litmus paper. इसका अगर आप test of cations, anions, gases अगर देखोगे ना acid which is just this one. तो इस sheet के अंदर you would notice that ये gases है सामने not so below this. Bleaches damp litmus paper ठीक है gases के अंदर if you have a look तो it's this one ठीक है that's Cl2 gas. So Cl2 gas का जो test है that's so this is D. A gas which is used inert atmosphere in labs कौन सी gas है inert? ठीक है that's noble gases that's B. Two gases which are found in clean dry air. Air के अंदर इनमें से which gases would be present in air?
F and B.
अच्छा F है और B है. Argon remember is the third most abundant gas. Nitrogen होता है first 78%, 21% is oxygen, then you have argon. Up here you've got carbon dioxide. So two gases which are found in refinery gas. Fossil fuels, hydrocarbons होंगे. Hydrocarbons are GN, GNH. Is that clear?
Yes.
So what's a covalent bond? What happens in a covalent bond is what's a covalent bond? It's when two electrons are shared by atoms. Between atoms. And yeah, it's going to, in other words, it's the attraction between two nucleuses and shared electrons. And there are two electrons in the middle, and there's one nucleus on the right side, one on the left side, one atom on the right side, one on the left side. And if Thika, you have to draw the Doran cross diagram. Fluorine is in group 7. How many bonds does it make? Like how many electrons would it share? Group 7 कितने bonds बनाता है?
1.
ठीक है, so remember group 7 just makes one bond. So पीछे कितने electrons बच गए? Out of 7 sharing 1 electron, so there are 6 electrons that are left. Same thing over here, 6 electrons are left. And N is in group 5, so it shares 3, so there are 2 electrons left, okay? Out of 5. So what is meant by the term mixture? What's a mixture? मिक्सचर में क्या होता है?
Like mixture में होता है like two substances are not chemically bonded together.
ठीक है, so they are only physically mixed, like two substances or two or more substances are physically mixed, not chemically combined. State the percentage of oxygen to the nearest whole number in clean dry air. तो क्या कितना परसेंट होता है oxygen? That's अभी discuss किया.
21.
अच्छा, how do you separate nitrogen and oxygen to be separated from clean dry air? तो क्या होगा first thing?
Fractional distillation.
पहले the air is cooled and liquefied. Then what do? You do fractional distillation. उसमें explain fractional distillation के both gases at different boiling points. Boiling points. So when air is heated back, different gases are obtained at different temperatures. At different temperatures. Which physical property of nitrogen oxide allows them to be separated? Boiling points, ठीक है? अच्छा, अगला part, sodium chloride. How many electrons does a chloride ion have? कितने electrons हैं इसके पास? Chloride ion के पास. कौशल कितने हैं हिबा? So remember 17 पहले ही है, so there's just one more electron that's gained, so that's 18 now. Identify an element which has atoms with the same number of electrons as a sodium ion. So sodium ion, sodium is 11, so +1, that means it's got 10 electrons. The periodic table will find an atom which has 10 electrons. That is going to be a periodic table में देखो जाके, और I think you'll figure out neon. Neon का जो atom है ना, that's got 10 electrons. What is meant by the term electrolysis? It's the decomposition of an electrolyte. By passing current through it. Name the products of electrolysis of NaCl concentrated. So क्या होता है इसमें? You've got cathode, you've got anode. Negative cathode. Positive anode, NaCl, that's Na +1. Cl -1, दो ions water से आ जाएंगे. There's H +1 and OH -1. Who ends up gaining electrons? तो Na +1 और H +1 में से. तो आप जाके reactivity C's में, like if you remember the reactivity C's, KNMG, CMG, Al, ZnFe, Sn, Pb, H. H, G, Ag, Au, and Pd. So the bottom वाला है H and Na. The bottom one is the one that gains electrons, or has a higher tendency to actually gain electrons. So it's going to be at its diatomic, so it's going to be 2H +1 plus 2 electrons. and it's going to be H2. So यहाँ पे hydrogen gets used up, turns into hydrogen gas. दूसरी side पे क्या होता है कि someone has to lose electrons. Whenever it's concentrated, it's always going to be Cl that loses electrons. That's also diatomic, so it loses 2 electrons, turns into Cl2 gas. So your products are H2, your products are Cl2. और solution में क्या रहेगा पीछे? That's NaOH. क्योंकि your solution had all of this, but H and Cl are gone, so you're left with NaOH. So ionic equation for the equation at cathode, that's this one. Okay, we already wrote that down. ये clear है पिछला?
Yes.
अगला part is silver chloride. So you're saying silver chloride can be made by reacting. So silver chloride, they're trying to make ionic precipitation. जब भी आप दो aqueous salts को mix करते हो ना, the solution will have Na+1, Cl-1, silver ions and nitrate ions. वो सारे ions पानी के अंदर ना mix हो जाएंगे. And if two ions combine to form something that's insoluble, they'll form a solid at the bottom, which is in this case AgCl. NaNO3 nitrates are soluble होते हैं, so they just remain part of the solution. So nitrates are all soluble. Solubility table you have to remember it. कि कौन-कौन से सारे soluble होते हैं? Nitrates, group 1, NH4+1. All these compounds are always soluble. So going back to this, describe what the student observed in step 1. So what he observed in step 1 was that he's going to observe a white precipitate that's AgCl के. Why was the residue washed in step 2? To remove impurities. इस solid residue को उसने filter out कर दिया. NaCl and silver nitrate. Step 3 में, how do you obtain crystals from a filtrate? So you do evaporation. और जब crystals बन जाएं, cool gradually, you filter out the crystals. ठीक है, तो हमेशा याद रखना, ionic precipitation में what happens is that you first form a precipitate, an insoluble salt, you filter it out, you wash it, and then you just dry it in sunlight. फिर a student started with 20 cm cube of, तो कितने moles हैं ये? How do you find moles? That's concentration times volume. That's 0.2 times 20 divided by 1000. ये जरा calculate करके बताओ कितने moles आ रहे हैं?
0.004 moles.
तो वो कह रहे हैं कि ये NaCl के moles है ना, तो equation में NaCl and NaNO3 have the same ratio. ठीक है, so their ratio is exactly the same. तो उतनी moles NaNO3 के होंगे, तो moles of NaNO3 will be exactly the same, जो कि क्या है 0.004, right? So how do you find mass? Moles multiplied by MR. So MR and NaNO3 की क्या है? Purity table में Na is 23, N is 14, and oxygen is 16 times 3. तो moles into MR, mass निकालो, कितनी mass आ रही है? कौन सी कितनी mass आई है?
Just 1 minute, sir. 0.34 grams.
कितना है 0.34?
34.
So you're getting 0.34 grams. तो ये आ रही है mass. उससे कहे the yield is 90%. So that means ये नहीं आएगा, 90% इसका आएगा. तो इसका 90% क्या होगा? That's going to be, निकाल लो. What do you get for this?
Zero point 306 grams.
अच्छा, heat on sodium nitrate crystals. Sodium nitrate, group 1 nitrates, how do they decompose? So they would decompose to form a nitrite and an oxygen gas molecule, ठीक है? फिर ये कोई लाइमस्टोन साइकिल है. कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट को जब हीट करते हो, it decomposes to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, which involves a physical change. मेरे ख्याल से ये physical change, क्योंकि solid turns into aqueous. That's step number 3. What type of reaction is reaction 1? That's decomposition. Suggest how step 2 could be reversed. पानी बीच में दोबारा मूव कर दो, वाटर ऐड किया ना, तो how could step 2 remove water? How do you remove water? By heating it. फिर वो कह रहे हैं step 4 की chemical equation. So everything is given: calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide. What do you get? You get ऊपर की तरफ. What do you get? You get calcium carbonate. और बीच में मेरे ख्याल से एक water ऐड करना पड़ेगा so that it becomes balanced. तो वो सब कुछ लिखा होता है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड भी लिखा होता है, calcium hydroxide. So they end up forming calcium carbonate. Is this clear?
Yes.
Explain why step 4 is a neutralization. Refer to the substances reactant. Why is step 4 a neutralization reaction? Because one of them is acid. Carbon dioxide is acidic gas, or ये base है. So hence it's a neutralization reaction, and refer to the substance reacting in your answer. वो कह दिए. Dolomite is a similar rock to limestone. Dolomite contains magnesium carbonate. So magnesium carbonate की nitric acid के साथ equation. So carbonate, when it reacts with nitric acid, क्या बनेगा? Salt, water, and carbon dioxide. फिर जरा empirical formula निकालो, क्या होगा इसका? पहला स्टेप क्या होता है? डिवाइड बाय AR. इनके मुझे आंसर्स बताओ. डिवाइड बाय AR करो, यू विल फाइंड द मोल्स.
Magnesium का 0.11375 है and silicon का 0.05642 and oxygen का 0.225. 225.
यही है जो मैंने लिखा है.
नहीं, सिलिकॉन का 5642 है.
अच्छा, फिर डिवाइड बाय द स्मॉलेस्ट, राइट? सो एवरीथिंग डिवाइड बाय तो क्या नंबर्स आ रहे हैं?
2 and then 1 and then 4.
तो बस that's your empirical formula, ठीक है? What is meant by the term base? जो accept करता है protons, right? Accepts. Show ammonia behaving as a base. तो वो एक्सेप्ट कर लेगा और वो बन जाएगा NH4+1. अच्छा, मोल्स का क्वेश्चन है, वो कह रहा है कि अमोनिया जो है ना वो 0.068 ग्राम्स रिएक्ट कर रहा है. हाउ मेनी मोल्स इज दिस? MR इसकी 17 होती है, अमोनिया दैट्स 14 + 1 + 1 + 1. तो कितने मोल्स है?
0.04 moles.
तो कह रहे कैलकुलेट द वॉल्यूम ऑफ Cl2 मेजर्ड एट 0.04 मोल्स, राइट? तो Cl2 के कितना होगा? रेशियो लगा लो, दैट्स 2:3, राइट? 2 जो है वो 3 के साथ रिएक्ट करता है, तो 0.04 विल रिएक्ट विद हाउ मच x? तो आपके मोल्स आएंगे, इट्स गोइंग टू बी 0.04 मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 3 डिवाइड बाय 2, राइट? तो Cl2 कितने मोल्स है?
0.06 moles.
अच्छा, तो इसको बस वो करना है कि 6 4 या 6?
0.06 moles.
वॉल्यूम कैसे निकालते हैं? मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 24,000 cm3. तो कितना है 24,000 से?
1440 kg.
1400 कितना?
40.
ठीक है, चलो ठीक है, ये फिर यही पे मैं छोड़ू, ये मुझे अगला क्वेश्चन का ना कंप्लीट कर दो. ये वाला ये पेपर नोट कर लो, दैट्स पेपर 11, ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
पेपर 11 कह रहा हूँ, ये पेपर है March 18 42. ठीक है, चलिए,
Okay.
ओके देन, ठीक है, अल्लाह हाफिज.
Okay, sir.